Be me, 26, junior accountant at a mid-size firm. Life safe, quiet, Excel sheets by day, leftover pasta by night. Same playlist, same 3 shirts on rotation. Brain fried, soul gently simmered. Friday evening, just wanted to go home. Coworkers insisted on one quick drink. We end up at some loud downtown bar full of networking bros and overpriced beer. Then I see her, red leather jacket, whiskey neat, laugh that could knock over shelves. She's with the other firm, the one we always silently compete with. Smarter branding, better holiday parties, shinier interns. Marketing guy from our team throws out a challenge. Trivia game, firm versus firm. Losers pay the tab. Cheering, groans. Someone grabs my arm. You're up. Go make accounting sexy. From the other team, she steps forward, the girl in the jacket. She lifts her glass and smirks. Try not to cry when I destroy you. We battle. Everything from 90s sitcoms to chemical symbols. I win by one question. What movie was Hugh Grant a bookseller in? She groans. Of course it's Notting Hill. Damn you and your rom-com knowledge. She laughs and clinks her glass with mine. Guess I'm buying the next round, or 10. People are already mingling, moving on, but she lingers. You're not what I expected from someone in finance. Is that a compliment? Too early to say. We end up talking for an hour. She's quick, sarcastic, and smarter than me in ways that matter. Says she's in strategy, hates PowerPoint, calls networking theater with free beer. Before she leaves, she scribbles something on a napkin. Name, number. Rematch next week? I nod. Didn't realize until later what someone muttered behind me. You don't know who that is, do you? That's Alex. Her dad's one of our company's biggest shareholders. My stomach flips. I just trash-talked and trivia-smoked the daughter of one of our owners. Awesome, but also can't stop smiling. It started with a text. Alex, rematch tonight? Don't worry, I won't cry this time. Also, I hope you like burgers. Turns out she wasn't joking. We met at this low-lit burger joint tucked between 2 bookstores. It was loud, messy, and smelled like melted cheese heaven. She was already at a booth when I walked in, sipping soda and flipping through her phone like she owned the place. No red jacket this time, just a worn hoodie and black jeans. Still sharp-eyed, still intimidating in the best way. You're late, -1 trivia point. Hello to you too. We ordered. She got a double cheeseburger, no lettuce. I asked for extra pickles and regretted it instantly. The conversation flowed easier than last time. We argued about which movie had the worst sequel. We both agreed that pineapple on pizza is fine, and that group projects should be banned from adulthood. Then she said it. So, you found out, huh? I froze mid-fry. About my dad, the whole big shareholder thing. Yeah, someone said it at the bar. And you still showed up? Why wouldn't I? Most guys either disappear or start acting weird. She dipped a fry in ketchup like it was no big deal, but her voice wavered just a bit. I'm not dating your father. Good, he's awful at trivia. She laughed, loud, unfiltered, a full-body kind of laugh that made the server glance over. It felt like a win. After dinner, we walked aimlessly, down quiet streets past glowing windows and late-night coffee places. We talked about books, bad bosses, how neither of us really planned to end up where we are. She paused near a crosswalk. You ever feel like you're just following the plan everyone else made for you? All the time. She nodded, like that was the right answer. At her car, she leaned on the door and looked at me. You're weird. Thanks. Most people try to impress me. You just show up with pickles and lose gracefully. I didn't lose. Yet. A pause. I'd like to see you again. No games, no trivia. No burgers? Burgers can stay. She kissed me on the cheek, quick, soft, a little warm. Got in the car, waved once, and drove off. I stood there like a dope for a full minute, probably grinning like a sitcom character. Later that night, my phone buzzed. Alex, next time I'm picking the music. You have terrible taste. Good night. And just like that, I was hooked. Mondays suck. This one especially. I spilled coffee on my tie, the printer jammed 3 times, and someone ate my yogurt from the break room fridge. Classic. Around 3 p.m., I went downstairs to pick up a delivery. Usual route, Usual elevator, usual lobby, except this time, she was there. Alex, red jacket again, talking to someone at reception, hair in a loose bun, phone in one hand, confidence in the other. My brain lagged like a 2009 laptop. I walked up. Alex? She turned. Oh, hey. Casual smile, but her eyes flickered, like she'd been caught doing something she hadn't planned on explaining. You work here? Well, kind of. You're not stalking me, right? Tempting, but no. She stepped aside, gestured toward the elevators. My dad's upstairs, board meeting. Board, like the board? Yeah. And then it clicked. Her last name. Her jokes about owning half the coffee machine. The offhand comment about growing up in boardrooms. Not exaggeration. Her father was one of the primary shareholders. I'd seen his name in emails, thought he was some ghostly, untouchable figure who only appeared on annual reports and holiday cards. And his daughter had been kicking my ass at trivia and stealing fries off my plate. You okay? She asked. Yeah, just adjusting my worldview. She smirked. I usually keep that part quiet. It's easier when people don't overthink it. So why are you telling me now? Because I didn't expect to see you here, and lying about being a consultant sounded dumb. The elevator dinged. She looked at it, then back at me. Still want to see me again? I didn't even hesitate. Yeah, I do. She smiled, smaller this time, but more real. Cool. Then let's both pretend I'm not rich, at least until next weekend. She stepped into the elevator, turned around. And don't worry, I won't get you fired. That's oddly reassuring. Door closed, she was gone. Back upstairs, I stared at my screen for 20 minutes and didn't type a single word. Later that night, she texted me. Alex, for the record, I'm a terrible heiress. I don't even own a yacht. Still up for tacos this Friday? Me, only if I can pay. Alex, we'll arm wrestle for it. Somehow, I already knew I'd lose, and didn't mind one bit. Something shifted after the lobby, not instantly, but gradually. She didn't text as often, our inside jokes slowed down, and when we did meet, it felt filtered, like we were both editing ourselves mid-sentence. I chalked it up to her busy schedule, meetings, travel, shareholder dinners, but part of me knew it was also me. I'd been pulling back too, overthinking everything. Should I be more formal? Should I dress better when we go out? What would her dad think if he saw me at a taco truck again? Worst of all, I started hesitating around her, watching my words, avoiding the vulnerable stuff. I hated it, and she noticed. One night, we were walking after dinner. Cool breeze, her hands in her jacket pockets. Quiet. She stopped. Be honest. Are you weirded out by who I am? I blinked. What? The family, the company, all of it. You got quiet after that lobby day, I noticed. I opened my mouth, closed it again. I don't know, I admitted. I guess I just didn't want to be another guy treating you different. She looked at me for a long second. So instead, you just started treating yourself different. Oof. Right between the ribs. We stood there in silence, watching headlights glide past. I like you for who you are, she said finally. Not because you're ambitious or humble or real or whatever label you're worried I need. I just liked our thing before it got complicated. I liked our thing too, I said quietly. She stepped closer. Then let's go back to it. No overthinking, no family ghosts, just you and me and bad trivia rematches. I smiled, nodded. Deal. The next Friday, we didn't do anything fancy. We sat on the floor of her apartment, surrounded by takeout containers and an unfinished puzzle. She wore glasses, I wore socks that didn't match. She beat me at 3 rounds of Jeopardy reruns. No tension, no overthinking, just us. And for the first time in weeks, it felt easy again. Friday again. Forecast said clear skies, so of course, it poured. I was halfway to Alex's place, hoodie soaked, shoes squishing like wet paper towels. Called her once. No answer. Texted. Nothing. Thought maybe she got held up at work. Or maybe this was one of those nights where silence said more than words. I almost turned back. Then her name lit up my phone. Alex, you still coming? Me, if you don't mind a guy who smells like wet pavement and regret. Alex. Perfect. I'm boiling noodles. I jogged the last 3 blocks. Her apartment smelled like soy broth and ginger, ramen simmering on the stove, dim lights, jazz playing from a small speaker. She looked up from chopping scallions. Hey, hey. For a few minutes, we didn't talk much. She handed me a towel. I dried off while she stirred noodles. It felt domestic, but not in a scary way. In a, this could be our Friday kind of way. Dinner was quiet at first, slurping, steam, rain tapping the windows like it wanted in. Halfway through, she set her chopsticks down. Can I ask you something kind of personal? I nodded. Why accounting? I paused, not the question I expected. Honestly, I was good with numbers, and it felt safe. Do you like it? Some days, most days. I wonder if I'm just hiding behind it. She nodded slowly. Yeah, I get that. Do you like what you do? She let out a breath. Parts of it, but it's complicated. Everyone assumes I'll take over someday. The board, the meetings, the suits. But I like strategy, problem solving, not politics. There it was again. That moment where the world shrinks down to just 2 people trying to figure out if they're allowed to want more. I reached for her hand across the table. She let me. Later, we sat on her couch, her head on my shoulder, a blanket over us. I used to think I needed to impress you, I said. I used to think I needed to protect you from my world, she replied. We both laughed, soft, tired, but lighter than before. Before I left, she kissed me, not rushed, not nervous, just there, like punctuation after a really good sentence. The ramen night changed something, not in a fireworks way, more like flipping on a lamp in a dim room. Everything looked the same, but clearer. The next time I came over, it was Saturday. Alex was wearing one of those lazy day sweaters that swallow your hands, hair pulled up, no makeup. Still the most beautiful person I'd ever been mildly intimidated by. We stayed in, played card games, lost track of the score, watched a movie neither of us finished. It was after midnight when she looked at me, kind of unsure, like she was doing the math on something. Would it be weird if I asked you to stay over? Only if you think I'll ruin your sheets with my unmatched socks. She rolled her eyes. The first kiss wasn't like the movies. No dramatic music, no perfectly timed tilt of the head. We bumped noses. She laughed into my mouth. It was soft, warm, a little shaky. Like 2 people who weren't sure how not to overthink it, but kissed anyway. Morning came too early. I woke up to the smell of burnt toast and the sound of someone whisper swearing in the kitchen. Peeked around the corner. Alex stood in front of the toaster, hair a mess, wearing one of my shirts, wielding a spatula like it had personally wronged her. She looked up. Okay, don't laugh. I'm trying not to. She waved the blackened toast in surrender. This was supposed to be charming. Mission, not entirely failed. We sat on the floor with cereal and bad coffee, talked about everything and nothing. At one point, she looked at me and said, I haven't done this in a long time. Burned toast? Let someone stay. I didn't say anything, just reached for her hand and squeezed. Firsts are magical, but what comes after, that's where the work begins. 2 weeks after I stayed over, things felt more real. Not in a bad way, just less curated. She saw me tired and cranky after late nights at the office. I saw her lose patience on a Zoom call, then cry quietly for 2 minutes before pretending it didn't happen. We were peeling back layers. One Saturday morning, I found her sitting on the floor with her laptop open, rubbing her temples. Board drama? I asked. More like dad drama. He wants me to fly to Chicago next week, handle a merger pitch. Do you want to go? She hesitated. Not really, but it's expected. That word again. Expected. She looked up. I thought maybe we could do something that weekend, but I guess not. We didn't fight. Not exactly, but there was silence. That weird, heavy kind. The kind where neither of you knows how to say, I miss you already, without sounding needy. Later that night, we ordered food, sat on her couch in that same silence, sushi between us. Movie playing, we weren't watching. I reached for her hand. We don't have to figure it all out tonight. I know, but I want to try. She nodded, pressed her forehead to my shoulder. Me too. It's just hard sometimes, loving someone and trying to be someone. That line stuck with me. We had more nights like that. Not dramatic fights, just little stumbles, misread texts, missed calls, misunderstandings wrapped in long workdays. But we kept showing up, with burnt toast, with coffee runs, with awkward apologies and forehead kisses. One night, after she came back from Chicago, she climbed into bed next to me and whispered, "I think I'd rather fail at being free with you than succeed at being perfect for them." I held her tighter, didn't say anything, didn't need to. There's always a moment when things click, not the dramatic one, not the kiss in the rain, not the shouted "I love you" in the airport. No, this one happened on a Tuesday. I was late. Work had run long. Traffic had doubled down on being a disaster. By the time I got to her place, it was nearly 9. Expected her to be annoyed. Instead, she opened the door in fuzzy socks and held up a bowl of reheated curry. "You look like someone who skipped lunch." That was the moment, that quiet care, the way she always noticed. We ate on the floor again, her legs crossed, my back against the couch, talked about nothing, about the color of the new chairs at work, about her new favorite playlist that she insisted I listen to, even if I was too old to appreciate Lord properly. She played me a song, slow, melancholic, something about learning to trust after being hurt. When it ended, she looked at me and said, "I used to think relationships were all big moments, big gifts, big gestures. And now I think it's just this. Knowing someone wants to come home to you, even when they're late, even when they're tired." I didn't reply right away. Instead, I leaned over and kissed her, software slow, like saying thank you without words. We fell asleep on the couch that night, tangled together like ivy. And when I woke up, she was still there, still curled into me, still choosing me. Her birthday was on a Thursday. She insisted she didn't want anything big. "Just a quiet night," she said. "Maybe tacos and that movie you like, but pretend you don't." I didn't buy it for a second. So I planned anyway. Small rooftop, string lights, her favorite wine, takeout from that hole-in-the-wall Thai place she was obsessed with, and a cake that looked like it was baked by someone's enthusiastic grandma. She showed up in jeans and a sweater, cheeks pink from the wind. "You did all this?" I panicked, overcompensated, blamed Pinterest. She laughed and kissed me, quick but warm. We ate, talked, danced a little under the stars to our dumb playlist. She looked beautiful, hair catching the breeze, eyes soft. "You know," she started. I could get used to this." "The curry or the company?" "Both." We sat in silence for a bit. Then her phone rang. Unknown number. She frowned, answered anyway. "Hi, yes, this is Alexandra." Her posture shifted, stiff, alert. I heard her say, "Of course," and "I understand," and "Yes, I'll be there." She hung up, looked at me. That was my father's assistant. "Everything okay?" She didn't answer right away. "He wants me to come by the house, tomorrow." That night, she stayed over. We didn't talk much more about it, but I felt the tension in her grip as we fell asleep, like she was bracing for impact. The next day felt like a movie where the music is all low piano and waiting. She wore black slacks, a dark blouse, hair pinned, lipstick barely there. We barely spoke on the drive. She kept rubbing her thumb against her palm, something she did when nervous. Her family's building downtown looked more like a museum than an office. I wasn't allowed upstairs. She squeezed my hand before disappearing behind frosted glass. I waited at the cafe across the street, nursed a coffee, checked my phone every few minutes, didn't taste anything. After an hour, I got a text, "Still in, might be a while." Another hour. "It's going how I expected." Then nothing. 3 hours later, she walked into the cafe, face unreadable, eyes tired, sat across from me, took my hand, didn't let go. "He wants me to come work full-time, start next week." "Did you say yes?" "Number?" I said I needed time. Pause. And then he offered me my own office, stock options, everything I ever wanted apparently. "Do you want it?" She stared out the window. "I want the part where I get to build things, but not the part where I become him." Silence. "He said you're a distraction." My stomach dropped. "What did you say?" She looked back at me. "I told him I love my distraction." That word, love, casually dropped like it wasn't a grenade. She noticed the look on my face. Too soon? No, I said, smiling. Just perfect timing. She didn't take the offer. That surprised everyone. Her dad, the board, even her own assistant who had already blocked time for executive onboarding. She told them she'd stay in her current role. No big title, no shiny corner office. Just her. Still solving problems, still building, but on her terms. And, yeah, her father didn't take it well. The night she made her decision, she came to my place with takeout and a bottle of wine. No big speech. Just sat beside me, legs curled under, resting her head on my shoulder. I'm not walking away from everything, she said. I'm just walking towards something else. We celebrated in the quietest way possible. Music low, her toes pressed to mine under the blanket, our phones ignored for hours. She didn't need champagne, just peace. A few weeks later, things started feeling lighter. Her laugh returned more often. The tension in her shoulders relaxed. Even her playlists shifted. Less instrumental, more indie pop with stupid lyrics. One night, we were brushing our teeth side by side, and she looked at me with toothpaste on her lip and said, I think I'd like to keep doing life with you. Even with my awful playlist taste? Especially because of that. Few weeks after she turned down the suit and tie future, things felt steady. Quiet mornings, takeout Fridays, feet tangled under shared blankets. Then I got the text, unknown number, short, sharp, dinner, porterhouse, 7 p.m. M didn't need to guess who. Put on my cleanest button-up. The one she says makes me look like I almost have a plan. Showed up early, he was already there. Polite start, menu, weather, small nods to the company's numbers this quarter. Then he puts his glass down, looks at me, voice low, even. You really love my daughter? No pause. Yes, very much. And what are you willing to do for her? Be there, be better, work, grow, whatever it takes. Silence. He reaches into a leather brief, pulls out a folder, places it on the table like a contract or a verdict. This is a leadership development program, pilot run. I can put anyone I want in it, but I want you to go. No favors, no protection, just a chance to show what you're made of. I stare at the folder. Don't touch it. Why me? He holds my gaze. Because my daughter chose you. And in this family, that means something. If not her, then at least one of you needs to understand what responsibility looks like. Nothing in his voice is angry, just serious. Like he's passing me something heavy and watching if I'll drop it. He pays the check. Stands up. You don't owe me anything, but if you want to stand beside her, stand taller. And then he's gone. Just me, and the folder. Been thinking about that folder for days. Took it home, put it on the shelf, didn't open it, felt like a mirror I wasn't ready to look into. Kept hearing his voice in my head. Don't say yes to impress anyone. Say yes because you're ready. Didn't feel ready, but maybe nobody ever does. It rained again that Friday, third time this month. The kind of rain that makes the city sound like static. Alex was on the couch, messy bun, hoodie, legs tucked under. We were watching something dumb and cozy, neither of us really paying attention. I kept glancing at the drawer where I'd hidden the ring. Wasn't planned, saw it in a shop window a week ago. Simple, no diamonds, no shine, just solid. I stood up. She looked up too. You okay? Yeah, just hang on. Came back with the box. No big speech, no kneeling, just sat down and handed it to her. She blinked. Didn't open it right away. I don't have a 5-year plan, I said. I still forget to pay my internet bill on time. But I know that waking up next to you makes my life feel like mine. And I don't want to wait for a perfect moment. I just want to choose you. Silence, softest kind. She opened the box, stared at it for a second, then at me, then closed her eyes, and nodded. I choose you too. Quiet, certain, no music, no applause, just us. And rain against the window felt like everything was finally aligned, like all the noise paused, like home. Started the program the following Monday. No easing in, early mornings, late nights. Everyone there talked like they were born in boardrooms. Me? Still felt like a guy who triple checks Excel formulas and hoards punch cards for free sandwiches. First week, I thought about quitting twice. Imposter syndrome hitting like a freight train. But then I'd get home, and find a post-it on the fridge. You've got this. Bring me snacks. Or, bet you already know more than they do. Don't tell them, though. She never said, I'm proud of you out loud. She didn't have to. She showed up. With coffee. With a forehead kiss before bed. With the calm that said, I'm not worried. I believe in you. Meanwhile, she was killing it too. Not in headlines, not in fancy corner offices, but in projects she actually cared about. Redesigned a failing brand's outreach plan. Helped a nonprofit modernize their donor tools. Said no to a promotion she didn't want. Said yes to a team that made her feel like herself. We were both busy, but not distant. Friday nights still meant takeout and trivia reruns. Sunday mornings still meant mismatched socks and half-burnt pancakes. Then one day, I walk out of a workshop, brain fried, tie loose, eyes dry from staring at spreadsheets too long. He's there, her dad, standing in the hallway, talking to someone, waiting. I freeze for a second. He turns, sees me, walks over, pauses, then holds out his hand. I shake it. He nods once, like a stamp of approval without the speech. You didn't just stick around, he says. You got stronger, for her. That's all. He leaves, and suddenly it's not about proving anything. Not about names on buildings. Not about family legacy or office politics. It's about us. Choosing to grow. Choosing to stay. Choosing each other, even on the hard days. 1 year later, not much changed. Still the same dumb inside jokes. Still her stealing the last fry. Still me leaving socks on the floor and pretending it's charming. Except today, it's our wedding day. Early autumn, the kind of weather that makes you believe in new chapters. Sun soft, breeze light, sky pretending it's not nervous for us. Small outdoor venue in upstate New York. Old farmhouse turned event space. Rows of wooden chairs. A white arch dressed in ivy and eucalyptus. Friends on both sides. Her loud cousins. My quiet college roommate. Her mom crying already. My brother pretending not to. The music starts. Strings. Live. Her pick. It's not a wedding march. It's a cinematic score from a movie we both love and never admit to watching 4 times. I'm standing under the arch, hands cold, heart louder than the music. Then I see her. Alex, hair up but not too up. Dress simple, elegant, slight shimmer when she moves. Holding a small bouquet of wildflowers. Grinning, like she's walking into a punchline only we understand. She reaches me, slides her hand into mine. I whisper, "You clean up, okay?" She grins back. "You didn't wear your Taco Tuesday socks, right?" Define didn't. The efficient, her aunt, ordained online for this one moment, clears her throat. Dearly beloved, we're gathered not for perfection, not for pomp, but for 2 people who made 100 small choices that led to one big yes. We say vows we wrote the night before. Mine are scribbled in a notebook with coffee stains. Hers are typed, printed, and laminated. Classic. I tell her I'll always make room in the fridge for her weird mustard collection. She promises to never skip the chance to dance in the kitchen when our favorite song comes on. We both promise to keep showing up, even on the days we'd rather not speak. We say I do. The kiss happens. Cheering, clapping, someone drops a glass. After the ceremony, champagne, laughing, pictures we'll later forget to frame. Dinner's seated but casual. String lights, long tables, actual menus, but still. Her favorite shrimp, my mom's lasagna, and mini tacos as appetizers. Her dad gives a toast, short, sincere. I didn't choose him, she did, but I see now what she saw all along. Raises his glass. No boardroom ever taught me that. Later, our first dance. No choreography, just us, swaying. Her whispering in my ear. Still want that dumb life with me? Only if I get to keep losing at trivia. Then she kisses me like the movie just faded to black. But we both know. The credits won't roll for a long, long time.